Oh, with my internet, because my phone have a quick rerun of what we just kind of talked about for a quicker amount, and then just go from there, I guess.
Alright, should I
Yeah,
reset
go ahead.
so
Intro,
get
I
everyone
don't care.
back in here?
Sure, don't matter. Just go ahead and start the
Alright.
intro if someone wants. Oh, buddy.
Josh, you want to redo the intro again?
Am I included? I am welcome to... Oh, good.
Go ahead. I didn't know if you wanted to again.
Welcome to the Heretical Podcast for episode number 30 with our typical host, Will.
I'm gonna kill myself because of this.
Ice is a nice person.
Hello.
And then I'm Josh. We are still running the fucking three-man crew. We're here because time never fucking line up for anything. But
Drake especially.
we're still trucking.
Yep. So, we were recording this earlier, and then things cut out, and the podcast did not, didn't go as planned. And so now, we, anyways, so, fucking, I lost my train of thought there. Basically, we're just recording one, completely cut out and lost it, so, we had to restart. It's probably going to be shorter now, it'll probably be like 30 minutes, half hour, because we were about 35 minutes into it, and then we lost it. So, yeah, so we haven't recorded much in a while. Are you serious? Both times we started, you do this shit? Are you kidding me? What's your fucking problem? God damn you. Okay, well, anyways. So we haven't done it in a while. It's been some time since we podcast last, been about a month. Apologies for that. That comes down to the fact that, well, Josh, you explain it.
Shit gone sideways. Well, there's work. That's all I have to say. Work has just been busy, keeping everyone busy, just scheduling, and well, last week, or whenever this goes up, we were all supposed to hang out for a week, but it went from like 5 people down to 3 people real quick.
It was actually supposed to be about 10 people, Josh, in total.
11.
Yeah, true.
11 in total, but it went down to 3 people, is what it was.
And yeah, shit fell through the floor. It was a nice week, but it would have been much
It was
nicer.
a lot of fun, but it did end up being that most people were not able to show up. It just did not work out. Some stuff came up for a lot of people, and we weren't able to get everyone. Instead of 11, we had 3. But,
Yep.
we still had some fun. But yeah, that's part of the delay right there. We didn't really record when we were all hanging out for the week, and we didn't record the weeks and stuff before that because we were working on getting everything set up for that week, which initially ended up kind of falling through at the end, but, we weren't aware of that when we first started getting everything ready. But it kind of fell through, and it changed some things. But we were busy for the week and the weekends. I was working on stuff, had to get a bunch of stuff ready, work on the roof, all these different things. But now we are able to record again, so it's our first time back in a while. Jake couldn't make it because we were going to do it yesterday. We'll get it done today because that's all we can really do. Because, when does anything go right? But, alas, so here we are. So in the recording,
Yes.
we had already talked about some good stuff, and we'll kind of get back to it. We brought up the leaks that were for Siege. I think before the leaks, let's get into a quick rundown of the current season with the release of our 2 newest ops, being Malusi and Ace. Interesting ops. Malusi's not as useful as I would have anticipated. I don't know about anybody else's thoughts. She's a little bit underwhelming. And I think Ace, though,
They
is
basically
a
never
for
turned
sure,
to the
like,
ground before they released her.
Yep, and then Ace for sure is a huge hit-off. He is like a primo member of the team right now, I'd say. In my opinion, Ace is probably one of the best ops that have been added in a long time, being he can cover the dealing of a hard breacher that makes small holes, a hard breacher that makes big holes, and he's got a beautiful killing weapon right there, being it's the best AR in the game with the AK-12.
Can I just say something that I am so happy that they've gone back to the male attacker, female defender. There's nothing wrong with female defender. It's just we haven't had a male attacker in 2 years?
I believe so. Yes, actually. Hold on.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Pretty sure it's been about 2 years, or at least close to 2 years, since we've had since we had a male attacker, female defender, whatever. I guess technically I said the other way. Female defender, male attacker. It's been about, like you said, almost 2 years, or at least a season shy, so maybe a year and a half, year and 3/4.
It's just, we understand. You're promoting, like, what would you be promoting? There's nothing really to promote there.
Not sure.
It's just like,
I think
hey,
I don't know.
Like, people like women. They let attack it. No, I don't think anyone really said that.
I just don't get, like, I get there. I mean, originally the cycle was fine. Male attacker, female defender. Then it was male defender, female attacker. I thought that was a good cycle. And it gave a good variation. But when they did all female attackers for like 2 years, these attackers all pretty much came out looking exactly the same, aside from Gridlock. And that's only because she was significantly larger in size than the other ones. Which realistically didn't honestly make much sense. Being that Special Forces, you kind of have to be rather fit, and she definitely was not in a fit nature.
She was a farm girl.
Yeah, that was her entire backstory, being a farm girl. But we went over that in the previous episode, so...
Yes.
That sounded like broken record.
I assume you were saying something, but you were very quiet.
Yeah, I was gonna cover on the fact of what Josh said, that she was a farm girl that recently carried her entire family out of debt.
I'm going to join the armed forces. If we're going to do, if they added realistic heights for the ops, which kind of would be a meta change if they did that, but they're never gonna. Mozzie is such a short motherfucker. He's what, 5'5"?
Something like that.
You cunt muffin.
Anyways,
okay, let's get into the leaks then. So,
alright, so to quickly recap Josh. To quickly recap some of the new things that have been going on for the supposed leaks is we have the two new operators, Aruni and Scout. Aruni has a laser plane launchable that can go through, that can launch onto doorways and reinforced walls or soft walls, and they project out laser planes. Any attacker that tries to go through takes 45 damage.
It's also removable, and it has 3 charges to it. To each one you throw up, it'll basically reactivate.
And we don't know if it's a bug or not, but it's currently indestructible at the moment. And then the attacking operator is Scout. He currently has pretty much an alternative to Twitch. He can shoot out 4 drones, and they're like really tiny, kind of like micro-sized drones, each shooting taser rounds that can be able to destroy gadgets and harm operators.
By the way.
Sorry. Either way, though, along with that, those are 2 new operators. Rooney, her one thing is she actually doesn't have a knife. She actually uses her fist. Her fist can actually punch out soft holes and actually be able to make crossable paths. to the point Vaultable or even traverse through soft wall. Kind of like Oryx. So pretty much just kind of a softer version of Oryx. And her melee actually isn't one shot like all other operators is. It actually takes multiple punches for it to do so.
She's a bitch. Sorry.
And also she's going to be having a DMR as part of her loadout, along with the Roni SMG.
So she can, okay, with the soft wall punching, she can also knock down barriers in one hit. So
I feel like that's actually that's kind of a safe balance though.
But here's the thing, it's gonna make her a spawn peak queen. She has a DMR, which those gonna do good damage with a 3.5 times zoom with the new scopes reworks.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like Doc only needs to punch out one tiny little small barricade.
I'm more saying that's the DMR.
Okay, DMR, yes. But what I'm talking about is Doc, he only punch out a small little barricade, and that's enough for him to just peek out of. Amara's punch is literally kind of prevent that. Literally meaning that she only has to punch once the spawn peak. She has to be whole.
So that is going to be
however,
a counter.
To that point, though, it's not exactly a full counter because you could have someone else break it. You could shoot out the piece, which would be very easy with a DMR. You also, and that may be bad for removing walls. You won't have to waste impacts anymore because if you have her, she'll be able to just punch the wall out. There will be literally no need to waste impacts like that. So that'll be giving more impacts, more nitros to players. So that'll actually kind of counterbalance that even more to the reason making her stronger because she's removing the entire need for impacts on a team to be used on walls. That can be same for ambushes and stuff, not just opening OBJ. And then, as the next part I'd say, that's really hefty, especially for, there's some, it's risky to punch hole in the wall and try to check inside because people see and or hear that little hole and then they start immediately just firing through the wall and you may not have seen them yet, and that's the counter of using those little holes. However, if she punches a giant hole, she can easily lean up and quickly hit the hole and back off, and she'll be able to see that entirety of that room and easily clear out where the enemy is before that enemy registers that wall. Well, with a tiny hole, you have to get up to the hole and really look through it. This one, you don't really have to get up. You can punch it and quickly run back and hide behind cover, giving you even more security.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So, in the end, it actually counterbalances that way if it's inside, because now, instead of having to take the risk of staying up against a penetrating wall, she can punch and dive to some, or she can put up shields if maybe they give her a shield or something. I didn't see if that's in there, but it is always a chance of being put in there if it isn't yet. They've been doing that a lot lately. Or somebody else, if there's just shields nearby, she can do that. Just hit the hole and then duck.
So also, something, on the video you sent us, it looked like a reworked, I can't remember the name of that map. It's the cabin in the...
It's not Chalet. Reworked.
It's not?
I was, after thinking about it and watching it, notice how untextured it is. I'm pretty sure it's a pull from old files so they can use it as a map.
Okay.
Because it doesn't look like a finished map. Because look at it, everything looks untextured and unfinished. I could be wrong,
True,
but
it could also be a very early rework. Like map rework in progress.
I mean, it could be, but it also doesn't look any different on the inside. Like the garage and everything are still identical.
True. But
there
was also a window above garage. We only really saw the garage in that video.
Fair enough.
I don't think there's now a window above garage, because that's the stairwell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could just be rework of Chalet. Is that Chalet?
So.
Because the That didn't. I don't think that has like the same amount of like luggage space.
Did you guys go over?
We did. Right. So no, yeah, we didn't talk about how charges the drones. We didn't talk about weapons. He's got the F2000.
The gun is named K. Everybody would that would be what. I guess it's I'm pretty sure it's just different for that, but the 1000 style gun rate he'll be getting as one of the new weapons. Then an MP7 is a weapon. And they're pretty sure. Jot what his
very visibility. It's the shootable drone that can fit through a
last video where we covered.
No, we talked about it. We talked about this.
I don't fucking remember. It's hard to remember with all this shit.
Well, if we did, we'll cover it again.
Fair enough.
Quick sum up, basically. In case we didn't cover it, it does a little shooty thing. It gets control of, you use it as a cam. It possibly has heat vision. I don't know if you guys ever mentioned that before.
As you say, I think I have covered it.
But it's like a alternative Twitch. It's a stationary drone that he shoots out. And also, here's a little thing that's a very small, minute detail, but the new ops will have different phones when they pop up. You pull them up.
Yes. Aruni's is a Night Haven phone, while Scout has a new kind of logo that I haven't seen before.
It's like special to him.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. But,
anyways,
okay, so go ahead and continue, Ice.
Yeah, sorry about that. Like I was saying though, they are having new rework sites. I don't know if you guys ever covered the sites or the site details for that.
No.
Okay, because I don't know the site details for that, so you guys will cover that.
Okay, I can cover it, I guess. So basically, they're going to be reworking all of the sites. It looks like in Season 3 at least. Pretty sure, not 100%, but being it's on his weapons as well, we're pretty sure that's how it's going to be. But they're looking to rework the sights. The ACOG, the one that we know and have used for a long time, the 2.5 times, will be reworked and removed off of most weapons. Most weapons will be entirely losing the 2.5 times ACOG, and the ones that do remain to keep it will have it reworked and designed. It will be a little bit more clear from what I understand, and a little bit with a wider crosshair. But the only weapons that will be keeping it are, if I remember correctly, the AK-12, the Commando, the AUG that IQ carries, the LMGE that Sophia carries, Ying's LMG, the Q75 LMG, I think is what it is, something like that. And then the 64P1 will also be maintaining the ACOG still, which would be Fuse and Finka. And then you will have the AR-33 and the F90. And then I'm pretty sure the P90 is the last one, and that is it. There might be a few more. I could be missing a couple, I'll be honest. I'm not sure. There very well could be at least one or two more, honestly. I can't remember. I feel like I am missing one, but yeah. Those are your current lists. AR-33, F90, AK-12, IQ's weapons except the LMG. LMG from Zofia, LMG from Ying, LMG from Fuse and Finka, and pretty sure that will be it. Oh, mind you, it does not look like the ACOG will be on Fuse's AK-12, though. For some reason, he's getting told no. He's not really 100%
He'll be joining
sure
the
why, but...
He'll be joining the no ACOG squad along with Jaeger.
Apparently. However, there will be new sites. There is going to be new ones that will be replacing. We will be getting a new, from what I understand, a 1.5 times site. We will be getting a 2.0 times site. And then there will also be a new level, which will be a 3 times site, which I believe will only be available to DMRs for the most part. I could be wrong on that one, don't quote me. But pretty sure it's only DMRs that'll be getting 3 times. And then the 2.5 will, like I said, be the ACOG that we know. The 2 times will be a new one that replaces most ACOGs, especially on defense, like the MP5. That one should be getting the 2 times sight, not the 2.5 ACOG now. Echo should be getting the 1.5 times, I'm pretty sure. And then a couple other people, like the Castle and Pulse, will also be getting a 2-time scope for the UMP, so that actually might become more of a viable weapon. Now that it has the extended barrel, of course, being able to put a 2-time scope on it, since it never had the ACOG prior, might actually make the gun a little more viable, being it's got one of the smallest mags and a fairly low damage rate with a low fire rate. It's, as everyone knows, not a great gun, but this might be a chance where it'll actually start showing some prowess. So we're gonna see how that goes. And then that will mainly be it. And there's a couple, like I said, 1.5 times sights that'll be added to a lot of weapons. It seems a lot of weapons are going to be losing their original zoom and be replaced with something else.
Which is good and bad.
Good and bad, definitely going to be a meta changer.
Oh yeah. Alright, something I wanted to bring up before, well, not before, since we weren't able to do it last time, and the shit went haywire, was, companies aren't really doing competitive shooters very much. The competitive scene has really dropped off the fucking map.
Like we were saying before the first cutout, is that that Ubisoft is really the only one remaining that actually makes competitive games that can garner a player base, essentially. And I'll be entirely honest, that's not a great thing, because Ubisoft has got a pretty sketchy record on games. They are not great at maintaining them at a quality nature. The Ubisoft has a tendency, as I'm sure anybody who's played the games knows, to imbalance and ruin things that were once good. I'm sure other companies, there's other ones that do the same, but Ubisoft has a huge fucking, stride in doing it for some reason. They will take a good, wonderful, pretty, not necessarily balanced, but decently going game, and take a bunch of mechanics that were working fine, try to rework them to make them more, I don't know, complex, I guess. I don't really know why the reasoning is sometimes.
Pro-based.
But, yeah, pro-based. But they try to make them more complex and, try to make it more quote-unquote realistic, as they say. They don't. They end up making it unrealistic, but whatever, what do I know? But they, they will spend their...
Damn, what do you know?
Exactly. What do I know? But, and there's that's that whole deal. They say that they're working to make it more realistic, improve stuff and everything. You son of a bitch, I was gonna go in and you hit me out. But,
I was gonna go in too, you hit me out.
Yeah, I was there first. So you hit me out. But anyways, so it was, they had mechanics that were good. Like I said, they usually have a good set for a start, and they do good for a while. And then, like I said, they go in, they're like, we need to make it more quote-unquote realistic and mess it up and ruin it. Like the audio in Siege, which used to work semi-decently and was fairly accurate, it is now some of the most inaccurate shit you could ever hear. You can hear someone to your right, and they can be under you for sure. Tested multiple times, too. But, that's just their tendency, I guess. Anyways, Josh, continue.
So, something I brought up earlier was the fact that, another one of their games that was pretty good was the Ghost Recon competitive shooting scene. It used to be really good with Wildlands, but then Breakpoint kind of went off downhill.
That's for sure. For anyone who has not played them, the difference is one went to a score-based system without specific characters, while Wildlands has characters that are specific ops, kind of similar to a Siege-esque style, but in third person.
With also different game modes.
Oh, also true, different game modes.
There was a basically essentially a hardpoint game mode where one team had to capture a point, a data point, while the other team had to defend it. There was a TDM, and I think there was there's a third one. I can't remember what the third one was.
Fuck, couldn't tell you, man.
I mean, Brainfart, I'm not liking it. Well, Brainfart's 90% of my life. Like, oh well. It's like Wild Winds had like great ops, because there's variety. I should say there was 2 medics essentially, a drone medic, and then essentially a doc from Siege, which you had like a stim pistol. And there was drone ops that were not like for like pain in the ass, and just at least one
Drone, which I think marked people.
Oh, I think they were gonna say smoke drone was the one where it was essentially the smoke operator from Siege.
No, I think there's 2 separate ones. Because there was the one that literally put up a smoke cloud, and there was one that made a actual, like, gas.
Right. Basically, the last 2 ops they put out were essentially Siege ops.
Yep.
But they had like an interesting system where it's like 2-3 shots would get you down, essentially. And it's like at any point, you were never truly dead unless I think you got shot in the head or went down.
Nope.
2 times. Then
Nope. You were always revivable.
Oh, it was. I think I'm the thing I'm thinking of. It was just like
revivable.
it just like took longer the more times you went down.
No, it was if you died to, I believe it's if you died to a headshot, or if you die to someone with a certain perk, which I think was called Severe Wounds. If you died to someone with severe wounds, then you went down, and it took longer to bring you back. You were always a revivable person.
God, this fast. Oh, okay. But it was just really fun because, like, that's the thing. That game also was like, if you had the correct, you could customize your ops. So, if you had the right camouflage setup, you were fucking golden. You could blend in with whatever area you were in. What the fuck did Tenno? Oh, I'm not going to wait that sentence. But it's like, if you had the right setup for camouflage, you would blend in with everything. It would be hard to see you. I'm pretty sure, like, if you stayed in the bushes, it had like a genuinely good stealth system for a combat shooter. Or a competitive shooter, I should say. Not combat shooter. Anything you want to add on that, Will?
Just that it was a pretty fun game, like Josh had said. They had really good ops to it, and it was a really good competitive atmosphere. We actually played it a good chunk. Oh shit, that was a pretty good shot. But we played it a pretty good chunk, and Josh and I actually got into the competitive scene of it for quite some time, and it was rather enjoyable. Honestly, talking about it today has kind of spiked me, and I'm probably going to re-download it again tonight so I can go back to it. It was honestly a really good game. It was really enjoyable. And just the style of it was fun. It, having specific ops made it more interesting. You kind of had to focus on a team build style. You had stuff like the tank and the point line. They were increased by like health, which was their part of their specialness. Is the tank had we'll go with the assault first. The assault had 30% more health than the average person. And that would allow them to take an extra couple of bullets before they went down. It doesn't sound too imbalanced. Most people hear that, and that's okay. That makes sense, right? Everyone's okay with that kind of deal. 30% more health for your ability. Sure thing. Not huge. It's like 2 or 3 more bullets. Okay. Then there's the tank. The tank was a severe difference. He had 100% more health, putting him at 200% health, which obviously is double the health of anybody else. Now, most people reading that would go, holy shit, that's overpowered. What the fuck are you thinking? And in most games, you would be correct. I will definitely hand it over to that, and that is true. Most games, you would most definitely be overpowered if you had that much more health. However, with this game's balance being, like Josh stated earlier, it was only a 2 to 3 shot to kill people usually. So, being the balance was so minimal to kill an average person at 100% health, it really wasn't a huge difference, That was not a big deal. 100% health, you take 2 to 3 bullets, depending on the gun, of course. Certain guns were a little more, certain guns a little less. DMRs were less, certain SMGs were more, assault rifles were in between, LMGs were usually in between. LMGs would fall. That's the balance of the heavy, by the way, is his guns were not always that strong. But, that
Or
would be
is either strong and incredibly inaccurate,
very slow, or it was very fast and accurate, but not so strong. Not accurate, inaccurate, not and accurate. It might have sounded like that. But and that's and like I said to that though, it was a good balance because like I said, everybody dies 2 to 3 bullets typically from most guns. Heavy hitters less, faster guns a little more. There's a good balance to it. The guns are fairly reasonable. With someone with 30% more health, they typically took 4 to 5 shots. Still pretty balanced. You can get an extra 2 shots out pretty quick. Then someone with 200% health, 100% more obviously. You have 2 to 3 bullets per person. This person was taking up to 6. It could be 7 or 8 sometimes depending on weapons. Obviously, these are differences. This happens. But instead of taking the 2 to 3 or the 4 to 5 that the one guy takes, you were taking 6 to 8, something like that as a normal. And it sounds imbalanced until you review his weapon style, which was LMGs that were typically highly inaccurate, or if not inaccurate, they were very slow and heavy hitting. And that was kind of your balance to them, like Josh had said. It either shoots fast, does little damage, is inaccurate, or it shoots slow, hits hard, but it's obviously slow and clunky. And it was very delicate balance, and it worked really well, honestly. Like, there wasn't necessarily a specifically overpowered class that you just fucking hated. There was only one class that was fairly annoying, and that was the assassin. And that was based on the fact that it was just... It was kind of dumb in the way of detecting it and stuff like that. It was a little obnoxious. It didn't detect right. And I think that was just because the mechanic in it did not work correctly.
Yeah. They also had, like DLC characters which were pretty interesting. Like Echelon, which was basically Sam Fisher. But
You're gonna continue with that?
Sorry, I got distracted. Sam Fisher, Echelon was allowed to use sound find enemies. Sounds. It was basically like how would you say trying to describe it. I don't know how to describe his ability. It's go like a sensory wave went out, and you could see where the enemies were essentially.
Ice, are you a fucking cheater? How the fuck did you launch from up there and go in one of these things? I keep bouncing off the wall.
From up top, we did a full blast.
That's what I did too, but I bounced straight out. Like, I hit it, and as soon as I touched the curve, it launched me straight out. It didn't go up to that, it bounced me at an angle.
Like, something that Wild Ones also did was interesting. It was like, they did, like, interesting little events in the main game, which also tied to multiplayer with ops they added. Like, there was the Alien versus Predator.
It wasn't Aliens, it was just
Predator. It was just Predator, yeah, sorry. It was a Predator that you could fight in the woods of the main map, which honestly was kind of fun doing that. Me and Will did it. It was a fucking difficult fight, but in contrast, the op they added was the Predator, which I fucking loved playing. Because what he would do is he had an M16 and something else. Also, all the ops only had
M16
two weapons.
and an LMG. I don't remember what the LMG was though.
Yeah, but the thing was, like, with these ops, it was kind of like Siege, where they only had 2 guns, 2 primaries. I should say 2 primaries and 1 or 2 secondaries, with limited attachments. But what his ability was I think either he had damage boost or like a damage resistance boost for a few seconds.
I gave him basically like an overstim of heavy damage resistance for a little bit.
Okay, that's weird. My game is like kind of froze up for a second. I thought I was lagging.
Cuts out again.
It'll be the same hole.
I would kill myself.
But yeah, it's like that. With the maps they had, were actually really good maps, I think, because it was a good mix of open and like open area and cover. Whoever did that ability, you're a fucking cuckold. But it's like I think the Wild Ones competitive scene was really good balance. There was a few things that were in balance, but I think it was all in all it was pretty good.
It wasn't as bad as Siege.
I fucking hate it. Who did that?
Ice. But honestly, I am going to download that again. I'd like to play that. Ice, do you have it?
No, I do not have Wildlands.
Would you like it?
Sure. Sure.
Well, there you go.
I actually found the single player to be fun too.
I only like the single player in Ghost mode.
Yeah, Ghost
mode
is fun.
Story mode. I shouldn't call it single player.
I don't think that's how black holes work. But yeah, it's like, oh god, I saw something. Trying to fight the Predator in Ghost mode.
Mm-hmm.
That's a death wish, unless you have overpowered weapons.
It was fun though.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Eventually.
If you can get over there. Essentially, like, if you guys don't know, Ghost mode was a mode in Ghost Recon Wildlands where it's Iron Man mode essentially. Where if you die, you have to reset. There's no reloading a save or anything. That character's deleted. And the shitty thing is, if you join someone else's match and help them, and your character dies, it's deleted.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, it's deleted. So it's really adds the interesting challenge, which I was surprised they didn't add it to Breakpoint.
Harlot.
But
Size cubes I could have fit in the hole.
Motherfucker! That thing is supposed to move. And it. Oh my god.
so that as a talk of DLCs, but
I think DLCs, what?
because like we're talking about Predator and shit, because technically that was a
Oh.
DLC or event, whatever they want to fucking call it. Apparently, I didn't realize this. Borderlands 3 already is on its third DLC.
Yeah, that game dropped off.
Oh fuck. But from what I've heard, the third DLC isn't too bad. Something I was kind of surprised is they didn't add more characters.
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't add more fucking content to begin the game with. That was the most boring end game I'd ever played.
I never got to it because I've heard the end game was just shit, so I just kind of lost interest in the game in general.
Yep, it was.
I loved the second game.
Second game was awesome. It had good end game. First game sucked. Or not first game.
Not very high replay value besides first playthrough.
Oh. I didn't really play the first game, and I just didn't really like it.
That's kind of one of the bigger games I ever played. I'd come over and we'd play it at my. So that was before home sharing, shit like that thing. Technically the home sharing, but it was more complex thing with the once you can share the owning rights to games, people's Xboxes, and you can only do that once every 3 months, 4 months.
I think so.
I'll shit to the intended it is now.
Still better. So there was other topics we meant to talk about. I don't remember any of them at the moment. Anybody else?
I had some topics I've been wanting to talk about.
Speak up, Sonny.
Josh, I'm gonna knock you off the scores. Anyways, though, one of the topics I want to talk about too is that supposedly Last of Us 2 really got some negative reviews.
They fucked over their fan base.
That's what I've been trying to get to.
That's the good stuff.
If anyone's listening, it's a spoiler warning because I'm going to say something that is a big spoiler of the game. They fucked over Joel horribly. They treated him like he was a side character nobody. Like a nobody side character.
You know how they fucked over that game? They fucked over the players. That's who they fucked.
And it's like, the way that people are trying to defend the game is just horrible. It's like there's a tweet that someone put out. It's like, name a person that's gone through more pain than Ellie. It's like, the internet came back in stride.
She isn't that, like, the character development in the first game, from what I understand, is really good. Like I said,
the first game is like a master. Is a really good game.
Yeah.
Story's great.
I never finished playing it. I only started it. I will play through it one day, but I've heard it was expertise, but this one does not merit that.
Nope. There's a reason why I got a 3.3. 3.4, and then I forget what Gameplace review website was on. They deleted 5,000 reviews. They tried to boost the score of the game. The score went down after those 5,000 deletes. So essentially they deleted the positive reviews.
And play it smart, man. Yeah, they really played themselves good.
I think something the director said was like, I did not design when I was designing this game, I would not use the word fun. Why?
What a
clearly the
to
wrong
say. That's the wrong number.
There's a guy from Nintendo America is like, it's not fun. Why play at all?
No, I assume you had stuff you wanted to say on it as well.
I went on a major rant and guy took over. Sorry.
Honestly, I was kind of hoping you did, because honestly, my opinion, I really don't have much. I don't have much to say on Last of Us because I never actually experienced the first game. I just now started watching the videos, and because of Last of Us 2 was coming out. What got me slightly interested in it was the fact that most people were saying it was bad, but then I look on TV and then it has TV ads showing it 10 out of 10, really great game. And all of a sudden this was an advertisement. Yeah, paid advertisement. I might want to add. Saying that it was 10 out of 10, that was a really good game. But everywhere else on the internet and media, they're saying completely different things. I just wanted to bring it up because of how immediately those two differently compared each other.
Yeah. I wanted to say that reminds me of a little thing with how I honestly think paid reviewers are the dumbest goddamn thing ever.
You want an honest review
what's the point?
of the game.
Just make an advertisement then. It's not a review if you're paying them. It's how big was that donation?
That's a bribery.
Yeah, the fucking media difference on this one, the reviewers are it's like a It's like a 98 or some shit, and all the game people themselves are like, 30?
Yeah.
Okay, so the review thing was like, so the Metacritics would give like a 0 to 100 review. The players could give like a 1 to 10 review.
Which
it was
essentially the same thing.
Yeah. The players gave a 3.3. The Metacritic gave it a 98.